Hi, it's Jason Kaplan here, Memphis, Tennessee, Beit Abulafia of Memphis, ULR of Memphis. I'm talking about the teachings of Rabbi Abraham Abulafia. It's really opened up worlds to me since I discovered him really thoroughly in 2018 and his teachings and connections to music. I was aware of him in college, but not really. I just knew of his existence and that he was a Kabbalist. But I really started to understand him in 2018 and been developing this for a number of years, and started teaching in different groups and musicians around the world. Very excited about all of this. Baruch Hashem. And so today I want to do a basic thought or lesson on permutations. And this also is connected to Rabbi Nachman of Breslov and his concepts of hisbodedus, which we'll talk about in another lesson. But essentially, we have the word shalom here. We're going to permutate, move the letters around, and see other meanings in the word shalom. So generally, people think peace is the absence of war, the absence of violence, and I pray to God that happens soon. But I think that Hebrew begins to teach us a lot more inside the words. And what does it mean to have peace, and what are the methods towards peace? So as we permutate them, you can see that one of the first words that we can come up with, as I move them around, is mashal. That we ourselves, there we go, we ourselves have to be an example of peace. We have to live these values in our own individual lives. And so we can believe in it and talk about it, but it has to be reflective of our own individual lives. And the way to really think about where does peace all start through is l'shem, to the name, or you can even have shame, the name of God. Focusing on the name of God, repeating it, visualizing it, coming close to Hashem, making Hashem the source of oneness for everything. That's where peace will emanate from, because we know that everything comes from Hashem. So the shame, or making all of our actions, are our example to be l'shem for the sake of heaven, for Hashem's name, or this is where you can put the vav back in, shemo. So for his name. I know I'm using a final mem, but it's a lot easier doing a permutation than mixing it back in. So shemo, his name. And so we can be, through peace, we can have be an example through to his name. And by doing that, we can find wholeness or completeness. As I was talking about, Hashem is the source of oneness, or Hashem is the one creator of all of us. And even inside of that, being an example and leading the way, we can be a moshel. We can be a leader. There we go. Hope that doesn't fall off. You can kind of see it. Mem, vav, shin, lamed, moshel. There we go. So we can be an example and a leader for completeness and wholeness by focusing on his name and leading a life towards peace. And really the most important one that I've really thought about to really cap this all off is that shalom, there's a shin at the beginning, lamed, vav, mem, and the shin represents aish, fire, and mem is water. This comes from Rabbi Nagain. And so shalom is also the reconciliation of opposites. So there's always me and the other, or us and them, or fire and water, and light and dark. And really being an example of peace is to find that we can solve the opposites, resolve opposites. So fire and water can exist in peace. And if we can do that and use that as our model, not to see somebody opposite of us as totally removed. I'm talking about in civil society. I mean, there are certainly groups that are just evil and removed. But even some of them, in terms of some of their just ignorant followers, I think could be brought out of it. If they were shown that shalom is that different viewpoints exist. And of course we have to make a distinction between good and evil. So that's a big part of shalom too, is distinguishing between good and evil and just things that we don't accept. But we also have to resolve the opposites. So I thought that was really amazing that all of that is in the word shalom. Hope you enjoyed this video. And in the next video I'll be playing guitar, putting all that together with melody and showing the permutations